human trials for a coronavirus vaccine begin in the UK tomorrow with a government investment of more than £40 million.
A plane loaded with protective equipment bound for the NHS arrives from Turkey after days of hold-ups.
Good morning. The holiday companies breaking the law by refusing refunds. 20 of the biggest travel operators and airlines are delaying or refusing refunds for cancelled trips. I'll look at why they're doing it and where you stand.
As UEFA warns that some football leagues in Europe could be ended early, the Dutch FA says it doesn't plan to complete the season there, with two sides level on points at the top of the table.
Just some of the thousands of people who have died with coronavirus. In fact, figures from the Office for National Statistics reveal deaths in England and Wales at a 20-year high. The daily figures for hospital deaths showed 823 fatalities reported yesterday, bringing the total to 17,337. It's now believed the peak of hospital deaths was on April the 8th. So the worst of the first wave may be over, but vaccines will be needed to stop the virus spreading again. There's hope on the horizon from two trials in this country.
What they're talking about, and the Daily Mirror reports that there are tens of thousands of protective visors sitting in a British warehouse waiting to be shipped abroad after the government didn't buy them.
Let's show you the front page of the Metro. Looking at the launch of a human trials for the coronavirus vaccine, which will begin in the UK tomorrow.
The Mail looks at other ways the pandemic is affecting the health service, reporting that thousands of cancer diagnoses are being missed every week because patients are not visiting their GP. And don't forget, well, this is about what have you noticed on the roads? I seem to have noticed in the last week that there might be more people back on the roads. I don't know, but
I think you're right.
Police are increasing speed patrols apparently, as the senior officers have revealed that motorists' average speeds on roads, and this is quite some figure, have increased by as much as 50% during lockdown. This is Detective Superintendent Andy Cox. He's in charge of the Met Police unit targeting speeding drivers. So he talks about extreme speeders and other drivers thinking they can get away with going faster because the roads are empty. And some extraordinary figures again. Extreme speeding drivers being caught exceeding 140 miles an hour. Wow. Average speeds up 10%. Now actually above speed limits in 20 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour and 60 miles an hour zones across London. The maximum speed recorded in a 20-mile-an-hour zone was 73 miles an hour. So those are pretty shocking figures, actually. Kent Police also saying it's increased patrols on key routes, as has Sussex, which arrested a motorbike rider going at 150 miles an hour along the M23.
Dear me. Some goons out there. I'm going to talk about telly again. Is that?
You want to talk about telly? She says
right.
She doesn't watch.
Did you? One thing a lot of people have been asking over the last few weeks is how Terrence is and how Tony is. So just a little update on Terrence first of all. He's okay. He's doing well. He's been well looked after by some of his new friends, by his neighbours, and also by Age UK Oldham. He's the fellow who we took the Christmas tree to at Christmas and had the choir outside his house.
And Tony?
Tony's a little bit more difficult because I speak to Tony most weeks, and from a health point of view, he's great. He's fit. He's healthy, he's staying at home as much as possible. But I spoke to him yesterday, and I'll be honest with you, he's a bit desperate at the moment because we think this happened sort of overnight Monday going into Tuesday. Quite a bit of the memorabilia, the pictures and the flags that have been around the memorial that looks after in Endcliffe Park have been taken away or stolen. We don't know exactly what happened, but quite a bit of that has now gone. And essentially, I spoke to Tony yesterday, and he's in pieces about it. And he doesn't quite know what to do. So I said to him that I promised to do everything I can, which is why I just wanted to say that if you do know anything, we don't know where they've gone, we don't know who's taken them. Yeah. There's all sorts of Facebook groups in Sheffield at the moment, and people sort of looking for them. And there's somebody said they might have found one of the pictures that Tony had by the side of the memorial in a bin in Sheffield. So if you know where they are, we don't want to point any fingers. Tony's not wanting to, follow any of it up. He just wants them back. Yeah. So you can contact me here at breakfast if you want. But if you know anything and you can tell me where I can find them or where other people can find them, we can get them back for Tony, because I think you can understand why they mean an awful lot to him, and he just wants to know that they're okay and they've not been thrown away or disposed of, or somebody's got them. So if you could get them back, that'd be amazing for Tony.
An RAF plane carrying personal protective equipment for health workers has landed in the UK after days of delays. It was due to arrive here from Turkey on Sunday. The plane was carrying several tons of PPE, including much-needed gowns and masks.
As many as 95% of the most vulnerable children in England have not been going to school during the coronavirus crisis. This is despite emergency places being made available. The Children's Commissioner for England says she's concerned the UK's most vulnerable children may drop off social services radar because they're not attending school. The government says it's providing extra funding to councils and children's charities to support vulnerable young people.